morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everyone. This is Tonye, the Self-Care Maven, women's health coach and self-care coach for Black women everywhere across the globe. Welcome to my channel. This is just kicking things off, getting ready for 2023. In my earlier video, I mentioned the fact that I'm going really hard for Black women when it comes to self-care on all levels. So we're not just talking about mental health care. We're not talking about emotional, psychological, all of that. We are talking about physical self-care as well, and all those things that go together. Did you know that your personal safety and your financial safety and security is part of your self-care? I'm going to get into it this time around, especially for 2023, because as I mentioned before, there are a lot of things happening, not just globally, but for those of us here in North America, we're going to be heavily impacted going forward. So if you're not ready from a self-care and healthcare point of view, it's mind, body, and spirit. If you are not ready for 2023, for what's coming in 2023, you're going to be left behind, and it's not going to be looking good for you at all, for any of us at all. So I just want to, emphasize how important self-care is for women, particularly Black women, because our self-care is multi-dimensional. It's not just emotional. It's not just spiritual. It's not just physical. There are a lot of interconnected planes that come into being when we're talking about self-care for Black women. We have issues of safety. I'll go into the statistics in my next video. I don't want to bore anyone with those hard numbers. And again, I don't want to get my sisters around the world feeling down and defeated because of these statistics, because that's why I'm here. I'm here to give you tips and strategies and have conversations about things we can do practically. Real Black women, the average Black woman, not celebrities and all of that. They have their own modes of protection. They have access to resources that the average Black woman does not have. And so I'm here for all of us to fill in that. As most of you know, if you follow me on Instagram and some other platforms, I am in the medical field. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. I work in the laboratory, and I can tell you that the numbers aren't good for us. They are not good for us. They're not good for Black women. Even in 2022, going into 2023, there is a lot we can do personally to change that, and eventually at the collective level really make some changes to help each and every one of us. So I want to encourage all my sisters out there, tune into my channel, the Self-Care Maven, from Freedom at the Crossroads. That's my blog, and that's where I put a lot of other resources, free resources. I have free downloadable resources for every woman. Go to freedomatthecrossroads.com. My link will be at the bottom of this video, and you can get free resources I have there. If you have questions, you can also email me at that website as well. Going forward, I have some programs that are coming up, but I also want to encourage every Black woman out there, do your level best to get a journal of some sort like this. This is mine for 2023. I love it. It's got women on here who look like me, but also just wanted to let you know too, end of January, you can get my copy of your journal. Yes, I'm creating a journal for real Black women. And it's going to be a journal with prompts and things of that nature that you can really pour out your thoughts, your feelings, and strategize up here, and then get it down on paper. So mine will be coming available end of January. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it out any sooner because I had to do some rewrites and move things around. But yes, coming end of January, I will have my own brand of women's journal coming out. and it will come out the end of January 2023 for Black women. It will have some prompts on there, my own self-care journal, and from my website and from Amazon. You'll be able to buy it from Amazon as well. So regardless of where you are in the world, you'll be able to get that copy. But unfortunately, you either get a notebook for right now, you buy someone else's copy, patronize another Black woman's business and get a journal like I did online as well. They are super cheap. You can get them anywhere from $5 and up. They are pretty reasonably priced. If you don't want to do that, if money is a real issue, you can also use one of my 7-day downloadable free copy of my journal that I offer to my clients and people that are in my community. You can get that as well. Just follow the link freedomatthecrossroads.com, go to the resources, community resources page, and you'll be able to get a copy of it that way. So I'll even put the link at the bottom of this video too, for those of you who are wondering. But back to self-care for Black women, what's coming up for us in 2023. I'm doing my level best to secure some interviews as well, because I recognize that when I say Black women, I'm not just talking about Black women here in North America, in this part of the diaspora. I'm talking about Black women in Africa and wherever we are on this planet. We have to, as a collective, really. But as I was saying, for 2023, we have got to collectively come together as Black women globally to move us forward into the next century and position ourselves where we have real autonomy, real security, and real access to resources. And that starts with self-care and healthcare for us all over organizations, particularly in my home country, Nigeria, where women are on the ground trying to effect change, but they need more resources. They need us to support them wherever we are in other parts of the world that have easier access to resources. We've got to help fund those as well. So those are some of the things that I'm really interested in doing, and I want to collaborate further on doing. But in my sphere of influence, what I do here as a women's self-care and health coach, I help Black women reclaim their health, their wellness, their autonomy, and get off the altar of other people's expectations, society's expectation, community expectations, the expectations of the people around them, to stand in their power. Guess what? We've all got to get the memo. No one is coming to save us. And if we don't save ourselves, guess what? We will perish. And I'm not trying to freak anyone out, but then again, I am trying to freak you out because I want you to get it through your head. If anyone is not for you, they are against you, and you have to move accordingly. I'm going to be talking more when it comes to women securing security, financial stability, and ways to just little practical ways that you can move and shift, especially Black women. We have a unique circumstances. And as I mentioned before, or rather I alluded to earlier, the statistics aren't good. For every hour, every 4.5 hours, Black women are killed at crazy rates. The numbers are ridiculous. You can check the CDC website. I'll actually provide that link that you can see it with your own too, or as we say in back home in my country, you'll be able to see the statistics, and they are frightening. There's a movement too of Black women who've decided to move outside of the US because of the severity of the numbers, but it's not just the US. Like I said, this is a global problem, and femicide is a global problem worldwide. We see what's happening in Iran and the Middle East, but I'm particularly concerned with Black women and our plight. And it's not that I don't care about what's happening to other women of color or what have you. But when it comes to resources, when it comes to fighting for access to resources and rights historically, everyone else has ridden on the backs of Black women to obtain that. And we've been the least, ones to benefit from that struggle. And so today, going forward, my primary focus and passion is securing that self-care and healthcare for Black women globally. South Africa has a similar problem. Their numbers are their statistics are terrible. Theirs are even worse. Same thing in what's going on in Haiti. And, I'm going to be giving some harsh truths as well, because social issues, we don't live in a bubble. We don't live in a vacuum. Social issues, cultural issues, and practices have a huge impact on the lives of women, particularly Black women. If it happens bad for other women out there of other ethnicities and cultural backgrounds, guess what? It happens worse for Black women. And there are a lot of reasons for that. Some are historical, some are generational. I'm not going to get on the whole victim bus and all of that, but these are realities that the average Black woman has to deal with wherever she is. And those questions of, okay, you say, oh, Tonya, you're telling me I need to do self-care, I need to, level up on my health and wellness, that nobody's coming to save me. What do I do? How do I do that? These are my circumstances. This is that. So I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about that when it comes to women who live in the diaspora. In particular, I live in North America, so I'm going to talk a lot about that. And then I'm going to also offer some tips and strategies too for women who don't live here, particularly women who live in West Africa and, conflict regions of the world. I'm also, if you follow me as well, you know that I'm also on Clubhouse. I do collaborate with some people on Clubhouse. And there's one person in particular, I'm trying to secure an interview with him so that I can get that information to you guys on how to secure your safety when it comes in the context of self-care. He is ex-military. He has a real heart for women globally, and he's very busy. So he does a lot of work in that area of women's self-defense, safety, and security. And he teaches a number of classes. And I do recognize that because of my connection, I'm able to access him in the way that ordinary women can't. He lives in Germany with his family. He also travels here to the US. So he is an extremely busy man. I'm not going to say his name for safety reasons and security reasons. He's had some military clearance and stuff like that. So I'll just be interviewing him and talking with him and asking and trying to figure out what level he's comfortable with in terms of me securing a possible interview with him online, whether it's audio or video and audio as well. So I just want to let you ladies know, because this is super important for Black women going forward in 2023. You can't, prioritize. I understand a lot of women making the calculation, Black women making the calculation that, how am I going to worry about something like self-care? That's with not really even understanding what self-care is. The average Black woman does not understand what real self-care is. You think it's the nonsense you see in social media with all these exotic places, luxury trips, and pampering, going to get mani-pedi and doing makeup. That's not self-care. So I'll break that down further in the next video, because I want to get, at least by this weekend, get the ball rolling as we shift into 2023. For those of you who want to work with me as your own personal self-care coach, you'll have to go through freedomatthecrossroads.com. There is another website. My other website is going live in a couple of days, where you can sign up for small courses with me. I do have a Facebook group. I'll actually be opening, because the previous one was very, very small. for its purposes, and it was invite only. And so I'm going to be making a shift in preparing space for new clients going into that space, and it's going to be on Facebook so women can feel safe, out of touch with any other, in our own little bubble, so I can really, really nourish you guys. We'll have Facebook lives, we'll have question and answer sessions, and then I need to get the timing right too, because this time going forward, I want to take into account that there are, for Black women everywhere around the world, you're not just here in North America or what have you. So you have time zone issues. I have family in Nigeria, so I understand it. I have some colleagues that are in India, so they're on India time. So we're trying to get all of that coordinated so that I can best serve you and nurture you and support you in the ways that are necessary to help you level up for 2023, so that when your health and wellness in all areas, then you know how to move forward and go get your bag. That's what I want you to do. I want you to succeed and optimize your level of, your level of life, not just surviving, but thriving in 2023, because that's what we all need to be doing in order to be stable, happy, and living our best lives. That is my goal for 2023 for all women. Definitely the goal for myself. I want to level things up even further, live my best life, get more travel in and things of that nature. But that's just part of my own little, to-do list. I know each and every woman, Black woman on the planet, has her own list, or should have her own to-do list of things she wants to do. But at the top of that list always should be you. Remember, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody's coming to rescue you. Nobody's coming to help you. I know it hurts. I know it's frustrating, and it might seem like it's unfair. Perhaps it is unfair, but that is the reality and the plight of a lot of Black women. What are you going to do about it? That is the question I'm asking you today. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to lay down and die, or are you going to get up, fight for the life you want, level up, stand in solidarity with your sisters across the world, get the support you need, get the coaching you need, put yourself first, value your own life and safety and autonomy as a human being, and refuse to accept the things that are being said, the others around you. Stand with the divine goddess. It's time for us to level up as women and reclaim who we are, reclaim her story. Not history, her story. Because life began millennia ago with us. And if we rise up and stand in our power, there's nothing we can't do individually and collectively. So this is Tanya, the Self-Care Maven from Freedom at the Crossroads, balanced life for women everywhere across the globe, helping you live better, feel better without the pressure of OPE, other people's expectations. Till next time, bye.